YNW Melly may have just revealed that he is guilty today during the YSL case trial for the passing of Sakchaser and Juvy. Here's what you need to know. It was revealed during court that YNW Sakchaser was set to receive $200,000 from YNW Melly and his record label. However, just a few weeks prior to Sakchaser getting offered this record deal, YNW Melly's mom would post this online.
Show me text messages from Sakchaser, all her friends and all these people, like he's about this life. But I'm saying, like, who you ever out at? What you ever did? You couldn't even take charge. If you don't sit your down and don't ever come for me, because my credentials is real. It ain't even a joke. So don't ever try to come for me, because I don't even play them type of games. Like, what you got that I ain't got? Oh, you your little... I got big... At the end of the day, Melly is my child.
When investigators found this clip online, it created a real mystery for law enforcement, as YNW Melly has documented on video many times saying that his mother is the most important thing in his life. If somebody goes after her, there could be a good motive to retaliate. So to find answers, the police attempted to subpoena 300 Entertainment, aka YNW Melly's record label, but the detective explained that the company refused to honor their subpoena. The feds would then go on to ask YNW Sakchaser's mother, Jana Thompson, to expand on the $200K payment. During a March 2022 deposition interview, though she specified that she didn't know exactly who the alleged payment was from or what it was for, she said that her son Sakchaser reached out to her a few days before he passed, where she said, and I quote, "My son hysterically called me," she said. "He was very concerned about my whereabouts. He was concerned about his sister's whereabouts. He was just very concerned, like something is gonna happen to us. And then he told me that he would not get his money." She continued saying, "He said, I'm probably not gonna get my $200,000. I'm probably not gonna get my money." As around the time that YNW Sakchaser would sadly pass, his music career was beginning to take flight. He dropped 2 hit songs titled Back End and Tropical. This is what originally got the attention of Melly's record label. According to records inside of the courtroom, they claim that YNW Melly could have done this act towards Sakchaser to avoid paying him the $200,000. However, this wasn't the only possible motive behind the crime as mentioned in the courtroom, as days before the passing of YNW Sakchaser and Juvy, Sakchaser was caught by Melly messing around with his at the time girlfriend. YNW Melly's ex-girlfriend's mother, she did a deposition with the feds. During the interview, the police officer asks the girlfriend's mom, "Were you aware that Sakchaser sent your daughter some rather special type of pictures?" Where she responds, "Yes, I am." He asks, "Did you see those pictures?" She responds, "I didn't see them, but she called me and then they came over. She was in Tallahassee during that time, and she told me about them." This again could easily be seen as a motive for YNW Melly to do this act towards Sakchaser, as the setting of Sakchaser and Juvy's passings were almost too perfect for a retaliation attempt. As on October 26 in 2018, in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 2 YNW associates, being Sakchaser and Juvy, would sadly pass while leaving a recording studio alongside Melly and Bortland, as YNW Bortland would share the story on how they passed during an interview with the feds at the hospital on that night.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's gotta be some evidence there. There's gonna be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's gonna be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's gonna be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's gonna be evidence over there. Okay, right now there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
YNW Bortland alleges that while driving home inside of the vehicle with Melly, Sakchaser, and Juvy, an opposing vehicle filled with rival street members would go on to block their vehicle on the side of the road because they knew that YNW Melly was on the inside. They would then roll their windows down and start using firearms towards Melly's vehicle. YNW Bortland, being the driver of the car, would then begin to swerve the car off of the road into an empty parking lot while protecting his side of the car. This would then leave Sakchaser and Juvy's side wide open as a target to these individuals. This is what would eventually lead to their passings, according to YNW Bortland. However, the new evidence shared during trial today now tells a different story after further investigation of the crime scene. Detective Christopher Williams announced in the courtroom that when the 4 YNW affiliates left the recording studio, YNW Bortland would bring the vehicle into this empty parking lot himself, not being dragged in there by an opposing rival street member's vehicle. This parking lot was away from any surrounding homes or witnesses that could have been able to hear firearms. The feds believe that Bortland created a distraction inside of the vehicle. Meanwhile, YNW Melly from the left side back seat would then do the act towards Juvy and Sakchaser. After it was complete, GPS evidence would clarify what Melly was doing after, as it would show Melly and Bortland sitting in the vehicle for around 40 minutes. Not something you would typically do if two of your best friends would tragically pass inside of a vehicle, is sit around for 40. This was, however, until YNW Melly stepped out of the vehicle, walked around the car twice in a circle motion before hopping back in. Evidence backing these claims is that detective believes the rapper was likely the one who committed the act towards the 2 YNW affiliates, as Williams reconstructed the scene of the crime by purchasing the exact same model Jeep that they were driving in. He then began to build 4 human-like figures being the same height and weight as all 4 YNW affiliates. He then placed them all inside of the vehicle, and he would then use firearms towards the figures, and everything lined up the exact same way as the real crime scene. Now, this also revealed that Melly most likely did this act towards Juvy and Sakchaser no further than 8 inches away from their faces, as all signs of who did this act was sitting in YNW Melly's seat. And this was confirmed due to the aftermath of the event, as well as Detective Williams using what is called the stick method. The stick method is where someone uses plastic sticks to match the trajectory of a firearm that could have been used from a specific location. The trajectory from Melly's seat showed a perfect match to where Sakchaser and Juvy were affected when they were examined at the hospital. Once all of this evidence was found by Detective Williams, YNW Melly would then continue to sit away inside of his jail cell. After years and years go by, things went silent until out of the blue, we would see reports of YNW Melly is being accused of teaming up with one of his lawyers to plot a prison escape. As the Broward County Jail, where YNW Melly is currently locked up, did an interview with Complex, where they mentioned inside of the courtroom, on April 11th, 2022, Broward Sheriff's Office received a confidential tip regarding inmates Nicholas Lewis and Jamal Demons, both housed in the same unit at the main jail, planning an escape from jail by having Demons' attorney bring in 2 handcuff keys. Additional information provided by the source was that Lewis had an illegal item in jail, as well as narcotics that were not prescribed to him. The statement continues stating, jail authorities searched Lewis's jail cell after the tip, which came from another inmate. They found multiple illegal items as well as narcotics for which he did not have a prescription for. YNW Melly's cell was also searched, but nothing was found except food from the commissary, as well as an excessive amount of jail-issued clothing. This all started when another inmate inside of Melly's cell block was eavesdropping on a conversation Melly was having with this inmate named Lewis. Allegedly, Melly mentioned they were planning escape. He then mentioned to Lewis that, hey, I can ask my lawyer if he can bring in a handcuff key. When the eavesdropping inmate then heard this, he would then tell it to a guard, hoping for some sort of commissary boost on his books. Now, YNW Melly's mother would even react to this.
Okay, so I'm at work and I just seen this crazy story. First of all, this is just another tactic for them to try to literally just tarnish my son's character and everything. They do not want him having attorney visits in person, which will cause for ineffective counsel. So we went to court for that. and they took his phone calls and they have him locked down. They had no evidence whatsoever that his attorneys did anything wrong to prove these accusations, but they knew it would get picked up by the media. So when we get ready to pick a jury, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, it's gonna be, oh, this kid tried to escape. Oh, this kid tried to do all these things. This is all fake because they do not have a case.
Now in the video, Melly's mom mentions how the feds have no evidence against him. The prosecutors are trying to do anything to make him look bad in front of the jury. 100K Track, aka Melly's music manager, would defend Melly's mom in this situation, sharing that Melly has very good defenses against the evidence on him.
He built a real great solid team away from just being innocent, because he wouldn't do such a crime. He prepared himself and got a proper, defense. Their job is to handle themselves in trial, not on social media. You guys are taking it that way. If they say they got DNA in a car, I'm just gonna tell you, Melly DNA was found in the car. You're gonna think, yeah, his DNA was found in the car the day of the. Oh, he jumped in a car and his DNA was in the car. He did it, okay? But you're not gonna put the fact that this was his car for 6-7 months on those documents and dockets and just automatically be like, yo, he's fried. You don't even know what the defense is. You don't even know what the rebuttal is. You don't even know why that situation occurred. You hear ballistics flying, you don't know what the defense is. You hear this, you hear that. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest.
It was around this time we would begin to see rappers showing love for YNW Melly as he really needed support. Kodak Black would share this on his Instagram.
Yeah, man, free that boy Melvin, man. Free Melly. Man, stop playing. We not playing like that. Oh, you gonna
Shortly after, we would even see YNW Melly get praised from Toronto rapper Drake for his music style.
A kid like YNW Melly who just has the craziest melodies, pain in his voice, but not afraid to just be like, yeah, sure, I might be this way on road, but in my music, this is what I enjoy doing.
Then while YNW Melly was newly inside of jail doing his sentence, his brother YNW Slime would say this during an interview.
So what's some of the musical advice YNW Melly gave you?
Musical advice. Find fire melodies and make money.
No cap. At least you're just straightforward. How was it to see your brother rise to the forefront?
It's kind of normal to me, because I already knew it was gonna happen. It's just a matter of time when.
When can the people expect to see Melly on?
What could it be? I would say a cheat code for the rap game.
Not too much longer after that, while YNW Melly was sitting in jail, Lil Durk and King Von would have a phone call with Melly. Strangely enough, this would actually become one of YNW Melly's last phone calls ever inside of jail, as he would be permanently banned from ever using the phone.
Bust, you got 10 pieces. Bust harder than mine. It's me. It's y'all. I said, you got 10 pieces.